Hello students, today I will be discussing Banker's algorithm which is used for deadlock avoidance. Let us see the question. In the question they have given that there is a system with 5 processes P0 through P4 and there are 3 resource types X, Y, Z and they have given also the instances of each resource. X is 4, Y 5 and Z 6. Okay, and then there is a snapshot of the system where allocation matrix has been given and max matrix is been given, and these are the processes. So these are the resources XYZ and the processes P0, P1, P2, P3, P4. In allocation matrix they have given the allocation of the resources to each processes and the resource type. So if you see P0 X0 Y0 Z1, P1 X0 Y0 Z1 and so on. Similarly, this is a max matrix where it has been mentioned maximum number of resources needed by the processes to complete its execution. So in this max matrix, if you see P0 needs X4, Y0 and Z4 to complete its execution. P1, X0, Y0, Z6 and so on. Okay. Next, there are 3 sub-questions and they have asked, using Banker's algorithm, find the content of available vector, then what is the content of need matrix, and also it has been asked to find the safe sequence if the system is in safe state. Now, before we calculate the content of available vector, let us write the number of instances of each of resource type that the system has. So let's do that. So they have given x with 4 instance. So x is 4, y is 5 and z is 6. These are the maximum number of resources but from these resources, some of the resources have been allocated to the processes. And how do we get how many resources of what type were allocated to which processes? So we get that from this allocation matrix. How many X resource types have been allocated? So 2. Here you can see 1 and 1. So this is 2. Then how many resource of Y type is been allocated? So 2 plus 1 is 3. So that is 3. And resource Z, 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. And 4 plus 1 is 5. 2, 3, 5 resource have already been allocated from 4, 5, 6. So if we want to find the content of the available matrix, what we have to do? We have to subtract these numbers 2, 3, 5 from 4, 5, 6. So let's subtract. This is 2, 3 and 5. So what are you getting? 6 minus 5 is 1. 5 minus 3 is 2 and 4 minus 2 is 2. So they have asked us what is the content of available matrix. So let's write the content of the available matrix is, so I'll just write available like this. Okay, and what is the content? This is X, this is Y and this is Z. What is the content? Content is 2 to 1. Let me just change the ink. So the content of available matrix is 2 to 1. X 2, Y 2 and Z. This is Z. Z is 1. Fine. So we have answered the first question. Second question is find the content of need matrix. How do we find the content of need matrix? There is a formula. The formula says that max minus allocation is equal to need. So what is the max? Let's start for P0. So let us concentrate on P0. If you see, what is the max of P0 for X resource type? So X is 4. And what is allocation? 0. So what is 4 minus 0? 4 minus 0 is 4. 4 minus 0 is 4 for P0. Then if you see Y, max is 0 and allocation is also 0. So if you see like this, 0 minus 0 is 0. So Y is 0. That is the need matrix we are calculating. Then for Z, max is 4 and allocation is 1. So we have to calculate 4 minus 1. So how much is 4 minus 1? It is 3. So the need of P naught is 4 naught 3. X 4, Y 0 and Z 3. If P naught gets these resources, P naught will be fully executed after some time. Next, let's calculate the same for P1. So that is max minus allocation. X is 0 minus 0, so that is 0. Y is again 0 minus 0, so that is 0. And Z is 6 minus 1, so that is 5. Next, let's calculate for P2. So what is X? 3 minus 1. So 3 minus 1 is how much? 3 minus 1 is 2. Then there is 1 minus 1, so that is 0. 3 minus 2 is 1. Similarly for P3, it is 3. See, you can calculate and see. Then it is 1 and 0. Then for P4, 3 minus 1 is 2. Then 2 minus 0 is 2 and 0 minus 0 is 0. So this is the content of need matrix. We have answered the second question which says what is the content of need matrix. The third question is we have to find the safe state sequence if the system is in safe state. Now what do you mean by safe state? Safe state means allocating the resources to the processes so that none of the process wait for other process to release the resources and one by one process will start getting executed till the last process. Unsafe state means we have allocated the resources to the processes in such a way that some processes are unable to completely execute and then automatically there is a possibility that the system is going to enter the deadlock state. Okay, so our main focus will be to allocate the resources to the processes such that the system is always in a safe state. So let us start answering the third question. Okay, let us start calculating the safe state sequence and this is our need matrix. So let us start with the process P naught. Available vector was 2 to 1. So I'll just write available. So this is X. So available we have calculated as 2 to 1. Let's compare the need of process P naught with our available. So what is the need of process P naught? P naught needs 4 instances of X, 0 instances of Y and 3 instances of Z. And what is there in our available vector? 2 instances of X, 2 instances of Y and 1 instance of Z. So it simply means that the need of P naught, so let me just write, we say that the need of is greater than available. Now since the need of P naught is greater than available, the request of P naught cannot be granted. So let's write request. I am writing it in shortcut because it's taking too much of time for me to type the entire sentences. So request is denied. Request cannot be granted. So P naught is still waiting in a queue so that it will get some resources at some point and it will be fully completed. Fine. So P naught, the request has been denied. Let's move to P1. Let us see the need of P1. What is the need of P1? X0, Y0 and Z5. And what is available? X2, Y2 and Z1. So again the need of P1, the need of P1 is greater than the available and what happens? We deny the request. The request cannot be granted. The request cannot be granted. Okay, so we say the request is not granted. So what will happen now? P1 is also waiting in a queue. P1 is waiting for the resources so that once it gets the resources or once the request is granted, it can use those resources and get fully executed. Let's move to the next process. Which is the next process? Next process is P2. What is the need of P2? x2, y0 and z1. What is available? x2, yes, we have y2, okay, and z1. So that means the request of P2 is less than or equal to the available vector content, and that's why we can grant the request for P2. So let's write that. What do we say? We say the need of P2, the need of P2 is less than or equal to available, and what do we do for that? We grant the request is granted. Now when we grant the request, it simply means that we are allocating the need of P2, right? So what was the available vector with us? 2, 2, 1. And what we did? We allocated 2, 0, 1 to P2. And what is the new available now? 1 minus 1 is 0. That is Z is 0. Then 2 minus 0 is 2 and 2 minus 2 is 0. So this is our new available. This is our new available. So we had 2, 2, 1, x2, y2 and z1, out of which we allocated 2, 0, 1. So we allocated 2 instances of x, 0 instance of y and 1 instance of z to the request P2. So P2 is going to use these resources, and after some time P2 will be fully executed because it has got all the resources that it needed to get executed. So after some time, you have to write all this. I'm not writing here. After some time, what will happen? P2 will be fully executed. P2 will be fully executed. Okay, so when P2 will be fully executed, what we have to do? P2 will release all the resources that it has got from the system. So we have to add the max of P2. See, you just remember only two things. Whenever the request is granted, from whatever is the current available, subtract need of that particular process. So request granted, need is subtracted. And after some time the process will be fully executed, so we are adding the max to new available. So what is our new available now? I'll write here new available separately, new available, because available will keep changing, right? When we grant the request, minusing or subtracting the need, then after some time the process is fully executed, then process is going to release the resources. So that is the max. So we are going to add the max. Minus need add max, minus need add max. Okay, so fine. X, what do we have? This is z. Z is looking like 2. Okay, so we have 0, and 2 and 0. That was the new available. Now P2 is very happy because it has got all the resources. So P2 will use those resources and it will fully execute, and when it is executing, it is going to leave our system, and when it is leaving the system, it is going to give the operating system all the resources which were allocated to it. Now we need to go back and check what was the max of P2. So let's do that. What was the max of P2? Max of P2 is 313. Can you see this? Max of P2 is 313. Let's add. So what is the new available? 0 plus 3 is 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. 0 plus 3 is 3. So this is our new available. Now P2 is fully executed. We need not worry about P2. So it is done. Fine. Next process is P3. Okay, let us see the need of P3. What is the need of P3? X3, Y1 and Z0. Do we have available resources? Yes, we have X3, Y3 and Z3. That means the need of P3 is less than or equal to available. And since we have those many resources available, what do? We grant the request of P3, and since we grant the request of P3, what we have to do? The new available, we have to subtract the need of P3 from this available. So we'll say 333 minus 310 minus 310. So what is the new available now? 3 minus 3 is 0. 3 minus 1 is 2. And 3 minus 0 is 3. Fine. Now P3 is also very happy. It has got all the resources that it needed to fully execute it. So after some time, P3 will be fully executed. When it is fully executed, what it will do? It will release all the resources given to it by the operating system. So the same thing here. So after some time, what it will do? P3 will be fully executed. P3 will be fully executed. And then what we have to do? The new available is nothing but the current available plus the max of P3. So let us see. What was the max of P3? The max of P3 is 3, 3, 1. Let's add it. 1. And the new available is X, 3, Y, 5 and Z, 4. Okay, so this is our new available. So now P3 is also fully executed. Let us go to the next process, which is P4. What is the need of P4? 2, 2, 0. And what is the available vector? 3, 5, 4. Can we grant the request for P4? Yes. So we say that need of P4 is less than or equal to available. See, when you are writing in the exam, you have to write the full sentences. You have to say request denied or request cannot be granted, request granted, new available is, then after some time so and so process will be fully executed, and then releasing all the resources, the new available is. So make sure that you form these sentences and write it properly. Okay, because of some like I have to use the keyboard and write. I'm not an expert to write that, so I'm using shortcut, but you don't do it. Okay, fine. So now what is the new available? P4, we have to subtract the need of P4 from the current available. So 354 minus 220, and that is what we are getting. 3 minus 2 is 1, 5 minus 2 is 3 and 4 minus 0 is 4. Fine. So after some time P4 will be fully executed, releasing the resources. So we have to add the max of P4 to the current available. So let's add the max of P4. Purposely I am doing the calculation here, so you can see here like I am adding max and I am subtracting the need of that particular process. So let us go and see what was the max of P4. So max of P4 is 320. So let's add. What is the new available? 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 plus 2 is 5 and 4 plus 0 4 plus 0 is 4. So we have x 4, y 5 and z 4. Now let's come back to our processes P0 and P1. Let's start with P0. What is the need of P0? 4, 0, 3. And what is available? 4, 5, 4. That means yes. Now we can grant the request of P0. So let's write need of P0. Need of P0 is now less than or equal to available, and we can grant the request. The moment we say we can grant the request, we have to subtract the need. So 454 minus 403, 4 minus 4 is 0, 5 minus 0 is 5, 4 minus 3 is 1. So this is our new available. But after some time, P0 will be fully executed, and when it is fully executed, what it will do? It will it will release the resources. So what we have to do? To the current available, we have to add the max of P0. So let's do that. Now if you see here, there is no place for me to write, so I'll just write it once again over here. And Z, and Z is looking like 2. My Z is not good. Okay, so 0, 5, 1. 0, 5, 1 plus add the max of P0. Let's go and check. What is the max of P0? It is 404. So let's add that. And what is the calculation? 0 plus 4 is 4. 5 plus 0 is 5. And 1 plus 4 is 5. Okay. So this is our new available. Now which is the next process? This is also executed fully. which is the only process which is remaining P1. So let's check the need of P1. What is the need of P1? X0, Y0 and Z5. Do we have that? Yes, we have. So that means now the need of P1, the need of less than or equal to available, and since the need of P1 is now less than or equal to available, the request of P1 is granted. The moment we grant the request, what we have to do? We have to subtract the need. So need of P1 was 005. So let's subtract 005. And what do we get? 4 minus 0 is 4. 5 minus 0 is 5. And 5 minus 5 is 0. So this is our new available. After some time, P1 will be fully executed, and when it is fully executed, it will release all the resources. So what we have to do? We have to write after some time P1 will be fully executed, releasing the resources, and the new available is we have to add the max of P1 to the current available. Let's go and check the max of P1. The max of P1 is 006. So what do we get? We get 4, 5. So we get 4 instances of X, 5 instances of Y and 6 instances of Z. Let us go and check. So at the beginning we had 4 instances of X, 5 instances of Y and 6 instances of Z. That means we have got back all the resources which were allocated to different processes. Now the last thing that we have to do is we have to write the safe state sequence. So let's write. I'll write the safe state sequence here. You will write the sentence saying that the safe state sequence is, and then you will write the sequence. So which is the first process? First we allocated to P2. So this is P2. Next we allocated P3. Then it was P4. Then P0 and P1. So if you see, the safe state sequence for the given problem is P2, P3, P4, P0, P1. So our system is in a safe state. That's all for the day. Thank you. In my next video, I will try to cover a different type of Banker's algorithm where available vector is given and they will ask the maximum number of instances that the system had at the beginning. Thank you.